12.
Oh, that is page 12. I'm sorry. Page 12. Okay, right on top. Umnum. Say when?
Yep, recording.
Right. So in the previous paragraph, we explained that the koichos reduce, so to speak, to the point where they can actually relate to the evorim, to the Gashmias Kelim. And it is an intentional process on the part of the koiches, because they're koiches pnimiyim, that they want to imbue themselves into the evorim, and the evorim should be nitfa, should be toifis, the koiches, to the extent that the koiches become part and parcel of the evorim. It's like the aver in the sense owns the koiches, the koyach, as if the koyach is coming out from the aver itself. So this we discussed last night and previous days. Umnum, but then on the other hand, hoivarim beteilim ala koiches. The evorim are actually subservient to the koiches, completely bottled, letting the koiches take the lead into the fullest degree, without any resistance. The imlokein, that's a brief parenthesis of great importance. The imlokein, for if it were not so, then the evorim would not have the quality of being kelim for the koiches. The principle of a keli is that it permits the full extent of the oyer to manifest and to be revealed at the keli level. What is the fullest extent of the oyer? For example, the eye is a keli. This is the easiest thing because this is very obvious. The eye is a keli for the koyach hori'iyah, the koyach of sight. The eye does not act in consort, does not act in partnership with the koyach hori'iyah. It lets the koyach hori'iyah do its own thing through the eye. The eye itself is totally transparent. If it were not transparent, then it would not be sight. It allows the koyach hori'iyah to use the eye as a means to see gashmis kinyonim. But it's totally subservient. This is why it's called a keli. It's a full-fledged receptacle for the koyach hori'iyah, except that it services the fact that it allows the koyach hori'iyah to function at the physical level. For a little bit more elaboration, so we understand the significance of this. When we say koyach hori'iyah on the physical level, you would say, oh, that's all there is. There's only koyach hori'iyah on the physical level. That is absolutely not the case. Because the in of re'iyah actually goes higher and higher and higher. Chochmah is also called re'iyah. And Chochmah is the so to speak, is the background. That is the means by which we can relate to re'iyah, to physical re'iyah, because we have Chochmah. So the koyach is higher and higher. But then, the kelim in the guf are real kelim for this koyach, allowing the koyach to function to its fullest in terms of what the function of this koyach is at the lower level of the guf of the keli. But the keli has to be totally bottled to the koyach in order to allow the koyach to express its qualities. That it's real, it's not shmir, it's not touch. In order to do that, the keli has to be totally bottled to the koyach. Bottled to the koyach, just to express the idea. It says the Avram Yitzchak Yankev, hein ha-merkava. They were like the merkava. The Alter Rebbe in Tanya discusses this. They were like a merkava. And what is the merkava? Means a chariot. The principle of a chariot, as used in this context, is that the chariot serves the rider 100%, without any contribution of its own. It goes only where the rider directs it. But in the direction where the rider directs it, it goes automatically, without any resistance. This means beetle. A keli for a koyach has to be such that it allows the koyach to come in and reduce itself to the keli level, but then it's a keli to the koyach. All you see is the koyach, not the keli. Like we said yesterday, the moyach is a keli for the seichel. Ultimately, you say moichin and seichel is an identical term, as if the brain understands. The brain does understand, because the brain has the koyach ha-seichel, and it's completely subservient, completely bottled the koyach ha-seichel. This is why it's a keli.
Completely bottled to the. Okay, even though, like we said just a little earlier, that it sort of gives its own restrictions.
The restrictions is that the keach reduces itself to the level of the keli.
Right. And
but then it functions in full glory of its own qualities.
Yet in that setting, meaning the...
What?
It functions in full glory in that situation, meaning the keli sort of applies some kind of context or restriction.
It does not apply any context, any restriction. It is the koyach wants to function at that level of the keli, and that's where the koyach imbues itself into the keli, and the level of the keli, and it allows the keli to embrace it. But the ultimate purpose of that is that the koyach should function according to its will, not the keli should function according to its will.
So, okay, take re'iyah, like I cannot see infrared, or there's certain things that are too fast for me to see. So we're saying that's not a restriction of the keli, we're saying that's just how the koyach re'iyah wants to work.
That's not a restriction, that's a limit of your keli.
So it's not a restriction, it's a limit? What's the difference? Okay.
Can you pick up 500 pounds?
No.
Why not?
That's the limit or the restriction.
It's not a restriction. Nothing stops you. You just don't have that's a limit.
Okay. Showing on that it does apply some kind of limit.
It is limited. The kelim are limited. That's the whole function of kelim is to bring the koyach in a limited environment, to be able to see gashmias.
Okay, so while they're battle to the koyach, they're also applying a limitation.
They don't apply limitation. They are limited. They don't by choice apply limitation. The koyach wants to be functioning at the level of the keli. The keli is by definition limited.
Oh, the koyach wants to work in a limited setting.
Yes.
Oh.
Because the koyach wants to function at the level of the keli.
The koyach wouldn't prefer to see forever. The koyach's happy to see
No.
to see in a limited fashion.
Yeah. Because the koyach wants to function and have its imprint, its influence, and the gashmistic level.
I was saying that a restriction is something that prevents it, but a limit is something that it could do itself, kind of like that.
A restriction is something that you by choice don't let it go. A limit is that's your limit. You're not restricting yourself from picking up 500 pounds. You just can do it.
I was saying the opposite.
A behemoth is stronger than a human being. There's a reason for that. Because a behemoth is primarily its physical strength. Human beings primarily his intellectual strength. Okay, let's continue. Where the koiches have rulership over the Evonim, and they actually give them guidance. They lead them on. And that is, what is this represent? Because the koiches are in a his galus state, in a revealed state in the Evodim. Al kein he maghigim oisom. This is why they lead the he maghigim oisom. This is why they lead the Evodim. The koiches being be his galus b'ha'evonim means, in simple terms, the ear in the eye is not in a state of potential. It's in an active state. And the same is true for all the koiches. The koyach hatnua, for example, in the hand, is not present only when the hand moves. The koyach hatnua in the hand is present all the time, constantly. And it is constantly in a state of function. For example, you're right now at a standstill, but you're holding in your hand your sefer. That's the koyach hatnua, that's holding up the sefer. Even when the hand is at rest, there's a koyach hatnua in function, in full function. Otherwise, God forbid, the hand would just fall down like a limb, a piece of meat. The koich has a bichinas his galus where he wants, but bichinas his galus in his galus manner, or in the Yevorim. Al kein he manhigim as Yevorim. This is why they actually lead the Yevorim. The Yevorim are constantly in subservience, in obedience to the koiches. But Gufa, here is the real challenge. Gufa, this in itself, the fact that the koiches are in a hisgalus manner in the Yevorim, in an expressed manner in the Yevorim, this itself who is mipnei, due to the fact shehem kelim horuuyim leoir suras hanefesh, because the kelim, the Yevorim, are kelim that are suited for the oil tzuras hanefesh, the oil, the tzura of the nefesh, of the form of the nefesh. Al kain, for this reason, therefore, hey manhigim is Yevorim. This is what the koiches actually lead the Yevorim. The Yevorim are so, the goof is so structured. It's both on the form of the koich of the Yevorim and the particular material, particular sense, quality of the Yever, that it should be suitable to reveal the nefesh. Tzuras hanefesh. Okay, let's think into this word that they ruim the oil tzuras hanefesh, the oil of tzuras hanefesh. There's a koyach hatnu in the hand. It's a koyach that manifests itself in tnuah, in movement. But this movement does not function independently of everything else. It is a participant in the full-fledged presentation of the nefesh order. The reason that the human being has a koyach hatnuah and is able to move in a limb is because this is what its nefesh is about. The nefesh, ha'odam, the nefesh has seichel, has to have seichel. Rotzen and noinag, this will still come to seichel and midos, and then it has the koiches of machshava, dibur, u'maisa. This is tzuras hanefesh. Nefesh is not just a neutral participant. It actually is aiming to affect and to bring out its message all the way to the practical level. And not only to the practical level, but in a practical manner. If in the nefesh, if it is desired to move this article from here to here, it will not just throw it; it will move it, because that is representative of a human nefesh. An animal goes and it kicks things. That on its way. A human being does not kick things; it moves them. So there is an oil tzuras hanefesh, the oil of the tzura, of the form, of the design of the nefesh. Everything is under the direction and as a result control of the nefesh. so that no matter what a person does, the principle that this is a human nefesh is never lost. This is why the koiches are actually mislabish in the goof, because the goof is accepting, is suitable to the gilui of oyer tzuras hanefesh. A goof of a behemoth lahavdil also has a volume, and also has ability to walk, for example. But the walking of behemoth, the walking of the human being, are entirely in different categories. And if the nefesh ha'adam should be mislabish in a guf ha'behemoth, you couldn't even walk, much less do human qualities that are like talk and think. Because that's not a kele for oyer tzuras hanefesh. Like we discussed the other day, when a human being walks, he is conscious of the entire reality. He's not only focused on the plank, the narrow plank upon which he treats. A behemoth just walks where it is standing. So the Evorim the Guf HaAdam is so structured that it's suited for the Oyer Tzuras HaNefesh. In other words, this is the overall Oyer Tzuras HaNefesh. The fact that a person is able to speak and to walk and do everything, there's an overall oyer that is representative of the nefesh, and this oyer comes in the form of tzuras hanefesh, the form of the nefesh. In other words, how the nefesh manifests itself at various levels. The guf ha'adam is so structured to be suited for the oil to these galus of oil tzuras hanefesh. Like we speak all the time, the guf ha'adam, the nefesh tzuras hanefesh of the human being is such that cannot relate to earthliness as its basic reality. It can be on the earth, but be above it. The goof of the human being is so structured that it can accommodate, it can actually represent this in it. That he is upon the earth, but he is not embracing the earth, not subservient to the earth. This way, the nefesh can relate to this goof. If the guf ha'adam were to be limited to be able to stand and walk on all fours, the nefesh couldn't relate to it. Because that the guf and the kelim and the yevorim are suited for the oil tzuras hanefesh. Al kein hakeiches misgalim bohem. This is why the koiches find full expression in the yevorim, because they're at home. It's a gashmuzike keli, and the koiches are ruchnius, but they're at home. Like we say all the time, there is the assembly line. But a human being to be dedicated to put in a screw is just not tzuras hanefesh. He can do it, but he cannot be involved in it.
Why can he not be involved? Because it's too.
There's not a
Small.
nefesh element in this.
Yet building a car, there is a nefesh element.
Yes. That's why I said it many times. Nefesh can relate to the car because the car is that which provides movement across the globe.
And putting in the screw, he can't say this is building, this is helping to build.
He could
the
say,
car."
and his does it be Kabbalah soil, but it's not the nefesh in it.
He doesn't feel it. It's not a.
It's not a nefesh in it.
It's like if a person in an animal lahavdil,
This is it for this morning. Yeah.
a person in a chimpanzee lahavdil,
Good job.
let's say that that who knows that they move their hand or something, it might be similar, but still we say that it's even the thing in the hand is completely
That's
not because
ridiculous.
the whole tzor is like
That's totally
completely
ridiculous. A chimpanzee does not represent a human being in any which way. No more than a cow represents a human being. It's also walking.
I'm saying even if they think that something looks similar to it, and since the tzor is completely different,
Yeah.
so therefore even that little thing is completely, it's not the same koyach tzor, but it's completely.
I don't know what you're hitting at, but what's the point?
I was giving an example of something.
As soon as I'm efficient,
Yeah.